to another video. Today we are going to OzCC Sydney. I have been lucky enough to be invited as a creator and I will be going in cosplay. So I'm very excited. I'll also be hanging around with my family for most of the day. Unfortunately, I won't film them out of privacy for them, but I will be in cosplay. I will be making a vlog, obviously, and I'm about to get ready because I am dressed up as, well, I will be dressed up as Mitsuri from Demon Slayer. And I just went and got my lashes done this morning. I now have the task of putting contacts in my eyes, as always. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. And I hope you guys like my Mitsuri because it's a very last minute thing.
I'm actually quite lucky that the contacts went in only after a couple tries this time, and putting the wig cap on earlier did help by getting the hair out of my eyes. It is a very cute look though, isn't it? Now that the contacts were in, the next thing that I needed to do was do my makeup. I just did my makeup like I do kind of every day. Just a little bit of a concealer, a light foundation, my winged eyeliner. Though for cosplay, I do put eyeshadow on and white eyeliner under the eye to make my eyes look a little bit bigger, especially if I'm wearing contacts. I also put on my usual blush and highlighter. I didn't need mascara because I just got my lashes done, and that was basically it. Cosplay on, wig on, this is what Mitsuri looked like. The wig was also super cheap from Amazon, so I did have to trim it down, but I think it turned out okay. The next thing that I had to do was get to the venue, which was at Sydney Olympic Park again, and pick up my content creator pass. We met my family there and everyone was also dressed up, so that was super cute. And once we were all together, we walked inside. OzCC was in the Dome this year, though only in the Dome section and the next building over, so it was a little bit smaller, or at least smaller than I remember it being. But there was still heaps to see and do. The first thing that we saw was a tattoo booth. Dr. Pickles had been set up and had some flash tattoos for anyone who happened to come by. There were of course multiple sword stalls, which I visited frequently, some places with gemstones and jewellery, a sweet shop that sold the big gummy strands and hard-boiled lollies. Of course they had Kaika with all of the figurines, and quite a few apparel stores. We did only end up going on Saturday afternoon, but it was still packed and super busy, so it was a little bit hard to walk around. We did have to take a break right next to the performances. There were quite a few groups performing, so I was genuinely surprised. Walk around and go from stall to stall, but not too far away was also the panel stage, which was cool to see, but I didn't stick around too long. After we grabbed some cookies from the thick cookie stall, Alk and I split off from my family just to be able to walk around a little bit more rather than staying in such a large group and get as much content as I possibly could for this vlog. We came across this TCG store. It had card packs from so many different franchises that I never would have expected. We also found this butterfly taxidermy store. I hope that's still the right word, insects and bugs and stuff. There were also a couple of armory stalls selling armor and swords and goblets and things. My eyes kept wandering over to the Ace Collectibles and Hobby Mania sword stalls though. I did find this one with some masks and Zelda headwear, so I was super excited to try on those. I low-key wanted to steal it, it was so cute, especially the Bokoblin one. Then I continued on my hunt for souvenirs. Spoiler alert, we did get a sword towards the end.
Dojo body pillow.
Like that.
It's so cute.
Unsurprisingly, there were a whole lot of collectibles from different popular culture, and one of the biggest sections to wander through was the artist alley. Now y'all know me, I have a couple of goals when it comes to an artist alley. To find out what's most popular at the moment, we were seeing things like K-pop Demon Hunters and Hollow Knight and Silk Song. plus lots of different art styles. Another thing that we tend to look for is anything new, things that we sort of haven't seen before. There were special guests on the floor, Cyanide and Happiness. You guys would know them from their comics online or their game, Joking Has It. They also have a few other things, but those are the things that I know them most for. We do also like to keep an eye out for any friends that might be attending in the Artist Alley. We know of a few who go around.
Burrow store. Always in the vlog.
And other brands that we are fans of, or that we've bought from before, like Button Fox. I do still always eye off their merchandise every time we see them. I just never budget more than enough for a sword. I do also like to look for different stalls with unique designs, unique aesthetics, and unique items. There were a couple of stalls that were selling bird items this year. This artist currently on screen had such a unique art style. Their name is Ginberry, and I basically fell in love with it. It was super cool, and there was a lot of hand painted and digital prints. It was cool to see something different. Oz Comic Con also has guests, and they were stationed at the end of the Artist Alley, celebrities that you could take photos with or get autographs from, but you're not allowed to film or take photos of them, so I can only explain in words. Which is fair enough, they gotta make their money from the con somehow. There are of course brands attending, certain tech brands like M-Wave, who had a giant gacha machine so you could try and win something.
What'd you get?
$5.
$5.
They also had PC setups at the back so you could play some games. We also saw Patch's Paradise. They're another stall that I really want to buy something from. All of their denim jackets are hand painted, and they have so many anime and cartoon designs. This is also another friend of ours, Inks, who is often in the Artist Alley and has a very unique pixel art style for some of his products. There was a stall also selling light boxes, something that I hadn't seen at conventions before. And like I said before, quite a few apparel stores. So brands selling t-shirts, bags, clothing, other merchandise. At this point, it was starting to get a little bit later in the afternoon. It was almost closing time for the convention. We only happened to go for one day because we had something on Sunday. So it was time for us to grab our souvenirs and start heading out. We went back to the sword stall and picked up the Valorant Onomaru Melee Katana, which I thought was super cool and I enjoyed because I've been playing Valorant recently. On the way out, we also stopped by this tea store, Long's Tea, tried some green tea, and ended up grabbing some to take home. I did really like the stall setup for that one as well. And that was basically all that we got from the con. I hope you all enjoyed this little vlog about our time at Oz Comic Con this year. Thanks again to the team for inviting me to be a content creator for the event. And please let me know in the comments what else you guys might like to see. We tend to go to most local events, so I know I'll be back next time. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!